What is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Just a couple of minutes ago, Riot actually put out a Worlds 2020 update. It's really big, really exciting news for the League of Legends world, for the esports world, and yeah, just for the LOL esports community as a whole. Just some really big exciting news we're going to be going through and covering in this video. Before we get into it, I just want to mention real quick that we recently unlocked channel memberships for just a couple dollars a month. You can help support me, you can help support my channel and my content. If you like what we do here, if you like my videos, if you gain any value from anything I do here on this channel, we would greatly appreciate you at least considering becoming a channel member today. And in return, you get some really cool, really awesome, hopefully worth your while member exclusive perks. So yeah, again, consider becoming a channel member today. Here we go, get into this video. The League of Legends World Championship details. Worlds 2020, at least as of now, obviously nobody knows what's going to happen, especially as we get into the fall and stuff and into the winter, like flu season picks back up. Who knows what's going to happen, but as of now, Riot is planning and taking all the necessary steps and everything to have Worlds in 2020, and this has been a big question mark for a while. Obviously, Worlds is a huge deal. It is pretty much the biggest esports tournament in the world. It gets the most viewers. It gets the most hype. League of Legends is the biggest esport. It's the biggest game. And the League of Legends World Championship is the biggest tournament of the year in esports. So a lot of people have been wondering, is it going to be able to happen? What's it going to, how's it going to look? How are they going to make it work? What's exactly going to happen? It was scheduled to happen in China. Are they going to be able to get everybody into China? Are they going to go to a bunch of different cities? Whatever. Riot has announced their plans for the most part today. Again, the whole tournament is scheduled to start September 25th. All the stages are just going to be held in Shanghai rather than going to a bunch of different cities, making like kind of a countrywide tour like they usually do. And the tournament will be concluding with the World Finals on October 31st. So it'll be a little bit over a month, but just being in one city is going to greatly cut down on just the flying around, the travel, and everything you have to do. It's also going to allow them to be able to control the players, the people they interact with, and everything more easily, more closely, and also just have a more controlled environment rather than having to set up like 6, 7, 8, whatever bubbles, controlled environments, travel everywhere around, figure out all the different regulations of different places. It's all going to be in Shanghai. I think that's a great call. Obviously, you need to set up this bubble type environment like something like the NBA is doing. Then you have a much more chance of being successful in this coronavirus era than you do with something like the MLB, where you're just kind of flying around willy-nilly and people are going to, just catch stuff and get stuff like that. The final matches. The final match will be held in the newly constructed Pudong Soccer Stadium. So maybe just the final is going to be somewhere different, but most of the places will be in this one building in Shanghai. They are potentially planning on having an audience. Ticket details and safety protocols are going to be shared at a later date if local guidelines will permit it. Again, it's just July 31st right now. September is the end of September is 2 full months away. Who knows what's going to happen with coronavirus? Who knows what the latest updates are going to be? Nobody really knows. Nobody can plan that far ahead because we're getting new information like every day, every week, it seems like. But if things get better, if things are trending upwards, if they're able to control the environment, get everybody quarantined, have safety protocol, masks, social distancing, all that, I'm sure they're going to try to have fans there, which it won't be a packed stadium, won't be as exciting, it won't be anything as crazy as we're used to with Worlds, because Worlds is usually like a trendsetter. They're usually front of the pack in terms of like huge crowds, huge stadiums, huge displays, the opening ceremony, the final ceremony, everything. It's usually super big, tons of millions of dollars put into it. And they want to assure people that this world is still going to be really exciting. The virtual viewing experience are still going to be pushing the boundaries. They're still going to be trying to do really exciting, crazy things, but it's just not going to be the big crowds. It's not going to be the in-person crazy opening ceremony, anything like that. But they'll still have an exciting opening ceremony. They'll still have a ton of exciting visuals. They'll be pushing the boundaries of what you can do in terms of a virtual esports tournament. And it is going to be really crazy. Some of the bigger news coming out of this also is that since China is kind of losing out on the World Championship this year in terms of that experience for the fans, the World Champion is going to be returning to China next year in 2021, which as an NA fan, it's going to kind of suck because the time zones are so bad for us being able to watch games. We have to wake up at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. to watch games and then just go all morning. And if you do that and you have school, work, whatever the next day, you're either going to have no sleep going into work or you're just not going to be able to see the games at all, or you're just going to show up late. So it does kind of suck. 2 years in a row, it's going to be very tough for Western fans to watch Worlds games. And the Worlds was supposed to come to North America next year in 2021, and a ton of people were super hyped up for that. But now NA is not getting Worlds until 2022. So if you're a Chinese fan, super exciting. You get 2 years of Worlds in your country. Even though this year it's probably not going to be as cool, You'll still get to have your full experience next year, which is awesome. And obviously, esports, League of Legends specifically, loves being in China. They make a ton of money. They get a ton of viewership. They're just really, really hyped up. But NA will still be getting their turn. It just will be pushed back a year. This article talks about how it's crazy that if Worlds is able to pull this off, because Dota 2, they pushed back the International to 2021. CSGO, they don't know if they're going to have their biggest major. And so far, the only real big major tournament we've seen so far this year was the Rainbow Six Siege Championship, but that's because it took place in February. But yeah, a ton of big updates coming out of this. Again, we don't know exactly what the tournament's going to look like, but Riot is taking the necessary steps, protocols, procedures, everything, far enough out in advance to where they're going to have a plan for these teams from all these different countries to be able to come in, quarantine for however long they need to, be in their isolation, have their own environment, whatever. They're going to have the top line technology. They're going to have all the money spent. They're going to do everything right, it seems like, to make this go over really, really well. And they're talking to all the countries. They're talking to safety experts. They're talking to all these places about what the best way is to make Worlds 2020 hopefully go off without a hitch, hopefully be the event that we know and love. And I think this is awesome because otherwise, these regional leagues playing out the whole year, the LEC, LCS, LPL, LCK, they're all for nothing if there's no Worlds at the end, because the regional leagues are really hype. Everybody loves them. They're really, really exciting. We love our LOL esports. But Worlds is the cherry on top. Worlds is everything that you play for all year. There's so many players who say they don't really even care about winning their regional leagues anymore after you've won it once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, whatever. And everyone trained so hard all year to do well at Worlds, to at least try to win a world championship, to compete on the international stage. And if Worlds was canceled, which at certain points this year, Worlds has definitely been up in the air, it would make the season a lot less exciting, a lot less hyped, a lot less meaningful for a ton of players, for a ton of fans, for a ton of teams. So it's awesome that Riot is doing everything in their power to hopefully safely, professionally, and just really, really flawlessly pull off Worlds 2020. But again, World 2020 is going to be happening in China. 2021, we'll be back in China. And then 2022, we will be headed to North America. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about any of these Worlds 2020 updates we talked about in this video? Love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to update on all this content. Consider becoming a channel member today. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.